Welcome back to, oops, I got my view wrong. Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So, good morning. Happy Friday. Welcome to another Market Open stream. And today I want to focus on, of course, what's going on with the U.S. market and with Bitcoin and how one person thinks a shocking rally is right around the corner. Now, this person is going against the grain. Everyone else thinks it's going to get much worse before it gets better, but this person gives pretty good argument. So let's talk about it, and let's talk about what else is going on in the world of crypto. So smash up the like, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that notification bell to get notified of all my streams. Follow me on social media. Check out CryptosRUs.com and follow the brand new CryptosRUs Clips channel. Welcome, 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 guys. Good morning. We're off to a good start so far. Hey, look at breaking news. European Central Bank member expects the first rate hike this summer, although Christine Lagarde says she does not want to raise rates until 2023. So I don't know if that's actually true or not. I don't know who's telling the truth. But anyways, U.S. market is looking pretty good so far. Yesterday, it was about even, but Bitcoin had a good rally regardless. I talked about the decoupling last night. Let's see what happens right now. Looking so far so good. We got, 8 minutes before market bell. So right now, we are looking pretty darn good. And for Bitcoin, still, not bad. Still holding above 30,000. Still hovering, right? People are still wondering whether or not this 25K drop was the bottom. More and more signs point to that it was. And that is why Bitcoin is holding strong right around now. You could argue, some people argue, if UST didn't collapse, maybe Bitcoin would be at 38,000, right? That collapse really just dropped things down, but who knows? Who knows? Honestly, we'll never know. But what's important is to focus on the future, not the past. But there is one other man that is still, that it's actually surprising what he said. But I'll get to that in a little bit. From a popular lending platform that you guys have heard of, he made some wild accusations. I don't know about wild, but accusations about why that's happening, why other DPEG events are happening, why his token is dropped. Yeah, but I'll get to that in a little bit. But anyways, all right, so Bitcoin overall is still doing pretty good. Entire crypto market cap went up about 3% versus yesterday, so that's not bad. We're still very, very, very oversold. There's plenty of buying opportunities out there. So that's the best way to look at it. Plenty of good buys at steep discounts right now. Okay, if you were shopping for anything else, clothes, cars, phones, computers, whatever, right? You look for bargains. You look for when things are 50% off or 70% off, right? And that's what we have right now with crypto and with stocks too. But I would argue more so the bargains are with crypto. So it's just best way to think about it, all right? What else is there? Let's see. Let's get to this. So the S&P 500, right now, a 90 billion outflow, and the amount of money that came out of the S&P 500 is way beyond any previous dip we have seen, any previous correction we have seen. It's not even close. This is how much, it puts it into perspective. First of all, how much money is in the market. And second of all, how steep this correction or drop has been. Just take a look at it. Look at how much came out of the market versus the COVID crash and versus the dot-com bubble. It's not even comparable. It's not even close, right? Shows you, this is how staggering. It's a staggering chart. It shows you how much fear and money is out there, right? So despite it all, I would argue that Bitcoin is doing just fine. I mean, if you have that much money flow out, right? And Bitcoin is still holding strong above 30,000. That is a fantastic thing. But just to put things into perspective, an S&P 500, if it goes down anymore, it will be considered a bear market because it's more than 20% drop, right? And a lot of people are paying attention to that, whether or not it's going to happen. And if so, is it going to recover quickly or not? But going back to this, this person that's calling for a shocking rally ahead. Well, I saw this headline on MarketWatch. The technician who called the 2020 market bottom says a shocking rally is in store. So when everyone else is calling for more pain, this person is calling for a huge, huge rally, a tremendous rally from where S&P 500 is now, going all the way up, back up to 4,400. And that's like a huge, huge rally. Now, why does this person think this is in store, right? Is he just guessing at this point? No. He believes two of the biggest inflationary drivers right now, energy and commodities, are peaking, which means prices will start coming down. And when they start coming down, then inflation is not so bad, because a lot of the really high inflation numbers we're seeing is due to energy, due to oil price, gas price, and commodities. You know, all the goods that we're buying right now, due to supply chain issues or whatever, they're kind of artificially high. But if they start coming down to their true levels, then the overall inflation number comes down, and then that'll be good for everyone, for the industry, for retailers and wholesalers and shipping companies and consumers, right? And it'll make the central banks and the Fed less hawkish. So that is why this person believes we will see a tremendous rally ahead, a shocking rally ahead for S&P 500. And if that's the case, okay, and if that comes true, well, of course, this is going to help everything, including Bitcoin and crypto. And you know how this correlates is I've been showing you guys a lot of charts and metrics and models about how Bitcoin has found the bottom and a reversal is right around the corner. I've shown so many over the last 2 weeks, and this kind of ties into it, because if Bitcoin is looking to flip to the upside, and when it does, it's going to be tremendous. It's going to be one of the biggest rallies we have seen. And if it correlates with this, well, then it makes a whole lot of sense, because, of course, the money I just showed you, this 90 billion outflow, will flow right back into the market, and it won't just be for stocks. It'll be for Bitcoin and crypto as well. So I'm looking forward to that. I am looking forward to that. All right. What else is there? Well, another retailer, Ross Stores, decimated in 3 hours right now. Pre-hour trading, negative 25%. So, yeah, retailers are not having a fun time right now. Target the other day went down 25%. Walmart went down like 15%. Home Depot, all these guys have all they've been just hammered. Okay, so just not good overall. What is good is this. I don't know if this is good. It's good for China, but it shows you the condition of China right now. Is it market? It's a market bell. It's market bell opening right here. This is the best opening bell in the industry, or on YouTube, I should say. We know China is struggling right now, and you know they're cutting their rate. So rather than increase their rate like the U.S. and everyone else, they're actually cutting their rates because they are struggling. This is to revise the housing sector, but they're still dealing with COVID, and I think they're still having another lockdown. They're coming out of the lockdown. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on. So their economy is in shambles too. A lot of the supply chain issues we've been hearing about is due to China and due to the shipping industry and due to lack of labor force. I mean, a lot of it, right? A lot of it is contributing, but so I guess this is positive in a way. What else is there? MicroStrategy, Michael Saylor. You know, MicroStrategy stock has been so killed, decimated. And you know what? That doesn't deter Michael Saylor. He believes that Bitcoin will go into the millions. Not just 100,000, into millions. Millions upon millions upon millions. I know a lot of people like to hear me say billions upon billions. I don't think Bitcoin will ever get to 1 billion, but can it go into millions? Okay, well, MicroStrategy or Michael Saylor believes so. And Samurai, I did see your super chat. I appreciate it. So the bottom line, we know Michael is very, very bullish on Bitcoin. And we have seen countless interviews where he has explained why he's so bullish on Bitcoin. And I do believe so. And the CFO of MicroStrategy just came out and said they will never sell their Bitcoin. So even though Bitcoin is down and there's a lot of fudders out there saying that, you know, just wait, Michael Saylor and MicroStrategy is going to dump their Bitcoin, it's not going to happen, okay? And Michael Saylor could become, I don't know, one of the biggest geniuses when Bitcoin does hit $1 million, and maybe 10 years, maybe 20 years. If it happens, it's going to make him look like the biggest genius ever in Wall Street. So I guess we'll wait and see what happens. What else is there? I mean, this morning is not a whole lot of news. Let's see where the market is. Market is open green. Bitcoin still hovering. In the meantime, let's look at a couple other things. SEC and Ripple. I know a lot of you guys tune in just for Ripple news, but this is actually pretty good. I think this shows the desperation of the SEC. So basically, with this ongoing lawsuit, which will probably carry well into 2023, Ripple is arguing that they need to see the emails from former director William Hinman, okay? Because William is the person that declared Ethereum was a non-security. Many people argue Ethereum is a security, but somehow the former director of the SEC said, no, they're not. But the SEC does not release any details about it, about why he thinks it wasn't a security, his criteria and all that stuff. And Ripple wants to see it. Ripple went to a judge, and the judge agreed. Judge said, yes, SEC, you have to hand over the emails and any documents to Ripple so they could defend themselves. And guess what? SEC is now fighting back, saying, no, we're not going to give it to them. They're trying to use some attorney-client privilege now, saying that he wasn't actually the director at the time, and he was a consultant, and he was talking to SEC lawyers. So they're trying really desperately to not hand over that information to Ripple because they know the case will be over if they did. Because I'm pretty sure whatever criteria William used will probably apply to Ripple. And if so, they will win in court, and the SEC will lose. And the SEC does not want to lose, right? So they're trying to fight tooth and nail in terms of not providing those emails to Ripple, right? So this is one case I really do wish Ripple wins, not because I'm the biggest fan of XRP, but I don't want the SEC to overstep. And this is clearly showing that they are overstepping and desperate because they're about to lose the case. Okay, now this case could drag on, again, well into 2023. So don't think that this is just going to be over next month. This is already, they already said it'll probably go carry this into 2023. But it does show you that they're desperate. Why? If they're so confident about their case, why don't they just hand over the emails? What could be in those emails that's so damning to the case, right? So I did want to mention that. Pretty positive for XRP bag holders. Also, this was also what I was talking about earlier. Celsius. Celsius recently has been decimated, along with many cryptos. So it's not like it's just exclusive to them. But many people have been calling Celsius out because they feel like they were they were liquidated, wrongfully liquidated. And Alex is coming out and defending himself and the entire market, saying that what happened with Terra and the whole collapse, what happened with Tether being decoupled slightly, and what has happened with his company is all due to Wall Street short sellers. Okay? He believes that Wall Street smells blood in the crypto industry, especially right now since things are weak, and they are attacking. And they are the ones behind Terra's collapse, UST's collapse, and it's been speculated maybe it's Citadel and BlackRock or a combination of the two. Also, the mass withdrawals from Tether, the 4 or 5 billion that caused a depeg, that was attributed to them, and also why Celsius has been, decimated as well, right? So that is what Alex says. I'm going to add a little bit to that. Well, first of all, the industry is bad overall. I recognize that. So it's not just Cell. It's not just his token falling. But, Celsius, when people were asking about whether or not their involvement with Terra was going to be hurting their bottom line, there was kind of no mention about that. The Celsius previous CFO was linked to another debunked project. That caused a little controversy. So there's been a few things. And overall, if you look at the token economics of Celsius, of course, if people are getting rewarded in Celsius, the rewards, they're probably going to sell, right? So it kind of makes sense. And plus, let's not forget that SEC is targeting lending companies like Celsius, but not just them, BlockFi and others, because they don't like lending programs, because it competes with the banks, right? So there's been a lot of stuff that's been happening. So I don't think it's just Wall Street short sellers, although I have made an argument that Wall Street is definitely in both, which is why there is this coupling between Bitcoin and NASDAQ and S&P, because they're in both, right? But whether or not the short sellers are really behind all the problems we've been seeing recently, I don't know. I don't know if that's... I can't contest to that, but that's what Alex thinks. And maybe he's right. All right. I think that's pretty much it. Not much else going on this morning. You can see 8 straight losing week. That is horrible. The same with Bitcoin. So let's see. Let's do some Q&A. Yeah, Joby says Coinbase will never go bankrupt. They're raking in millions of fees per day. That is true. And they have so much Bitcoin. They have so much Bitcoin, Litecoin, the forks of Bitcoin like Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin SV. They have hundreds of millions to billions that's in their pocket that no one knows about. Why do you think all these OTC sales are all through Coinbase, right? And before I tracked Litecoin, I was looking at Block Explorer and looking at the very first million blocks or whatever it is. I was really bored and just kept going back and back and back. And every single block, every single Bitcoin was going straight into Coinbase because Charlie Lee was working at Coinbase at the time. So, I have no doubt Coinbase has billions of crypto, undisclosed, just hidden, waiting to be distributed when they need it. Do Bitfinex whales still have longs open? Oh, yes, they do. They have a lot of longs open. I forgot how to check it. Bitcoin BDC long. No, Bitcoin long. Shoot. I forgot the symbol for it. But yeah, last time I checked, it was still very high, Eric. Tyler, thoughts on Luna's new proposals? There's no new proposals. It's still the same one. This is the one that I'm talking about. This is the one submitted 2 days ago. Honestly, it doesn't matter what anyone proposes, but this is the one Do Kwon is pushing for. He wants a fork. That's it. And he's going to get it because 80% is voting yes. He's convinced 80% of the validators to vote yes. So it's unlikely that there's going to be enough no's to offset the yeses. But right now, this is happening. It's going to end in 5 days. And next week, we will get a snapshot and be airdropped new Terra tokens. That's really it. Whether or not they have any value at all, I can't say. Because just because you get airdrop tokens and they have a lockup period does not make them valuable. So I can't. I don't know. Do Kwon's proposal was amended. All right, let's see. Amended. All right, let's see here. Pre-attack Luna holders distribution for all holders snapshot balance of 10K Luna or less, 30K, 30% unlocked at Genesis, 70% vested over 2 years. Yeah. Yeah. I'm laughing because it's going to make things worse. So, previously, it was, I think, UST. Only UST holders would get 15% unlocked at Genesis and everything else locked in. So now, this is saying pre-attack Luna holders, like pre-depeg, right? So like me and many others that bought a tremendous amount before the price dropped will get 30% of what we're supposed to be airdropped unlocked, right? But you know what's going to happen? Everyone that gets it is going to sell off the 30%. So I actually think that that is going to make things worse. But you know what I've been saying? Like, why? I've been speculating this. Why Do really wants to have a new chain and new tokens? Because he owes $80 million in taxes. He was fined $80 million in taxes by a South Korean tax authority, right? And how does he go pay $80 million in taxes? Well, he probably has a balance of Luna, right? And of course, 30% or 25% is going into the community fund or whatever. He probably has some control over it. Maybe this is whole thing is this is how he's gonna pay those taxes, But anyways, if this new amendment, you get 30% unlocked at Genesis, it sounds better in theory. It's like, oh, okay, we get 30% and 70%. You gotta wait for at least 6 months before you start getting it, and then you get the whole thing after 2 years. But 30% is going to be dumped at the market. That's what it means, So I don't know. I don't know if that's any good or not. Are you DCA on Luna? Have you? You mean? I have before. I brought my cost average down to 2 decimal points, but I've stopped because I just don't think there's any more point to it. What do you think about Tron stablecoin USDD? I would stay far from it. I don't trust anything from Tron, and I don't trust Justin. And USDD is basically a copy of UST. So. Anyways, yeah, so I missed that amendment. But looking at this, I don't know if it's actually a good thing. And post-attack UST holders, so the ones that are holding UST now, distribution would drop from 20% to 15%. And you know how this has not helped UST. I think he was thinking that this, like post-attack, anyone that's still holding UST, I was holding tremendous amount of UST, like, I think he was thinking that this would cause people to buy UST, but it certainly hasn't. UST has dropped even more. So, again, that has not helped. Increased initial float, all initial float allocation modified from 15 to 30%. And here's the other thing too. How can you amend this when it's already been voted through? basically, right? Like, if it's voted through, you can't amend it. If you amend it, then you need another vote, right? Maybe the people that voted yes does not like the amendment. So I don't even know how that makes sense. How you could just change it midway through. What if he adds something else in here that everyone hates, but it's already been voted, right? So I don't even know how that works. Anyways, getting worked up over this when I shouldn't. All right, I'm just gonna let it be. Would you DCA Johnny? Johnny, would you DCA in BTC and big caps and save time while market is down? Yeah, sure. That's just called buying the dip. You could buy the dip. You could DCA based on percentage, like 5%, 10% drop. So, Johnny, you could do it like that too. How are ETH killers affected after upcoming ETH upgrade? They're not, because ETH still can't scale after the upgrade. I think most people don't understand that. ETH is not going to be fully operational after the upgrade. It's simply switching to proof of stake, but they still can't scale like any of the L1s out there. So the L1s still have plenty of time to do what they need to. I'm neutral on quant. They're more BDB, so I'm not really interested in them. I have 45 million Luna, cost 18K pre and post attack. I will get 700 new Luna, 70 unlocked. My calculation says it'll be worth 150 or net loss of 70K. Do Kwon sucks. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I'm being very negative towards him now and his decision making, but I still deep down I hope we could somehow pull through. But at this point, it just seems like there's no recovery from this, right? And we still don't know what's going to happen with Terra Classic, right? With Terra right now, what is going to happen, right? Maybe okay, we got a new fork, that's fine. Okay, whatever, we get airdropped free tokens, whatever. But what about Terra Classic? How about we implement coin burning? How about we try to still save it for people that are still holding on, right? Holding on to UST and holding on to Luna. Maybe we have a plan in terms of trying to salvage this, even though we're getting a new chain and new tokens, right? Why is that not being talked about? Why is that not being added as an amendment, right? I think it would be very positive if he added something about that. We just don't know. We don't know, right? Kelby says, despite the new token coming, can Doe implement burning feature for Luna Classic? I hope so. That's what I just got done talking about. I hope so. You're just biased because he's Asian? What does that mean? My hate towards him because he's Asian? Okay, that makes sense. You get a timeout for being an idiot. All right. You know what we need? A little XRP inspirational video. Well, it's a good time for that. But I did give some positive news about this. I think this shows SEC's desperation. They do not want to hand over the emails because if they do, the case is over. Ripple will win. So they are fighting tooth and nail not to give those emails to Ripple. So I would say this is very positive. And if Ripple wins the lawsuit, they will probably start pumping. But you have to wait. Most likely it's not going to conclude until 2023. Do you think NFTs are oversold as well? It depends. The big ones, I say yes. The small ones, maybe they never should have gone up that high in the first place. That's the thing. That's what I argue. I think the big ones will stay and they have come down, but the smaller ones, I just don't know if they have any legs to stand on in the future. Cool, yes, thank you. All right. David, I hope you're joking, but if you're not, I'm sorry. But David said, I just looked at my Luna balance. I was on a retreat where we don't have access to the internet. What the what WTF happened? Was over 100 when I left. Glitch? No, it's not a glitch, David. You've lost all your money with Luna. You need to get caught up if you're serious about that, or I don't know if you're trolling at this point because it's been about a week or so. But UST collapsed, and Luna has collapsed, and they have no more Bitcoin either. They panic sold all their Bitcoin to try to save the peg, and now they are trying to fork a new chain. So. What do you think will come out of Bukele's conference, and do you think more countries will use BTC? Yes. I think those 44 countries attended for a reason, because they want to learn more about Bitcoin and want to learn about how, as a country, can they adopt Bitcoin as legal tender. It's not easy. Bukele has done it, figured it out, and he has probably shared his playbook like Michael Saylor has with so many corporations. So yes, we are going to see a lot more countries embrace. Probably, by the end of the year, maybe another 2, 3, if not more. UFC, thank you. Is MicroStrategy stock a makeshift BTC SPY ETF at this point? Pretty much. But I would argue they've been doing worse than Bitcoin. So honestly, just buy Bitcoin instead. Like Michael Saylor early on, he's like MicroStrategy's stock is not like a Bitcoin ETF. And then recently he did say it's the next best thing versus a Bitcoin ETF. So he's kind of hinting it is, but its performance can't compare to Bitcoin. So just buy Bitcoin instead. Hey, Jeff. Thank you. Always appreciate it, man. I'm thinking about buying $2 million worth of Luna. Okay. If you might as well just go to the casino and put $2 million on red or black. That's if you want to gamble like that, just go bet red and black. Jishnu, I missed the old Do Kwon on the trolls. Do Kwon talking about his goals. Do Kwon's terror on a roll. Okay, you making music right now, but I appreciate it. All right. What about the June Fed meeting? We already know what's coming out of there. He already said 50 basis point increase. He said it for the next 2 meetings, so there should be no surprise there. Can whatever happened in Luna happen to other crypto? Yes, but unlikely. I mean, it could happen to an extent, but not nearly as bad because UST got to a point where it was so big they didn't have enough reserve to support it, and they didn't have an automated way to support it. See, the biggest problem was they didn't have enough time because they had about 3.5 billion in reserves, so they figured even if it goes down tremendously, we could sell off 3.5 billion and cover it. The problem was that they didn't have an automated way. They had to send their Bitcoin to the exchange and then tell the exchange to buy UST. And by the time they did that, UST was already depegged by a ton. So if there was an automated way, which they were working on, that would have probably saved them, but it didn't. And plus, after a certain point, after they pegged a certain point, they needed like 5, 10, 15 billion to support the peg, and they don't have that much on hand, right? So something like that could happen with one of the other algorithmic stablecoins, except none of them are that big, not as big as UST, and if they have some automated way to keep the peg by selling off reserves, then they should be good, in theory. Do you think Ripple could get those emails from Vitalik? Maybe. I don't know if they were ever forwarded to Vitalik, but if Vitalik has a copy, should, BCC Brad so he could get a copy. But I honestly think SEC is fighting so hard to keep the emails because it would destroy the case. Like, honestly, and in this case, I do want them to lose this case. Because if they win this case, SEC is going to be attacking every single crypto project. Because Ripple arguably has the most money to defend themselves. And if they spend all this money and all this time and they still lose, SEC is just go after everyone, right? So I want Ripple to win. I really do want them to win this case. All right, guys. That's pretty much it. Overall, U.S. market doing pretty good today. Bitcoin, not too shabby. Those kind of break even. Some of the altcoins are coming up. But the main thing is a shocking rally coming ahead. Well, one technician thinks so. And many of the metrics I've shown you guys also indicate that. So that is something I'm looking forward to. And that's why you want to be in the market. Okay, so we're heading into the weekend. Let's see what happens this weekend. Can we keep the momentum going? Let's see. All right, smash the like, subscribe to the channel. Today's Friday, so I'm not streaming tonight, but I will put out another video for you guys. And I'll see you guys tomorrow, 11:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. All right, have a good one, guys. Take care, and take a look at this.
What do you think about Ripple?
Well, I mean, I think it's too centralized, but I definitely want to meet Chris Larson.